I'm going to show you how to save stuff from ChatGPT to a file. There are a couple things to be aware of how to do it in just a regular ChatGPT that's, just a random one that you're doing, or if you're making a custom GPT, there's something you have to do before it will actually save the file. So I'm going to show you both. The first is in a regular chat, and let's just ask, what's the weather in Baltimore? And so we're going to start just a chat here. This could be anything. So then let's go create a list of points of interest in Baltimore. So we're going to have two things here. And so it's made a list here. It's given us a weather. So I can say save list to file and hit enter. And it actually writes the code up here that it would use to do this. But then down here it has a list of points of interest. And if we click on this, it gives us it in a text file. And so it gave us the list. Now the next thing is we could also go save our entire chat to a file and hit enter. It's gonna generate the code that it needs to do it, and it's gonna show you the code too. And then at the bottom it puts this thing to download it. Let's take a look at this now. So the thing about this is we can specify exactly what it saves. So we could have it save the entire chat, or we could have it save just part of the chat, like in the one example, the list that we made, into a file. The other thing we can do is we can specify what type of file we want it saved into. So if I wanted to save it into a Word file, I can go save the list into a Word file. And that will specify the type it does. I'm not sure of all the types that it knows, but you can always try one. It will save things into Excel. So if you have something that's a table, so here's the Word document right here. And if we open up the Word document, you can see it's put into a Word format for us right here. So those are a couple things that you can do with it. And like I said, it can save into Excel and a couple different other formats, or you can save it into text delimited and specify it. Now, if we're going to create our own ChatGPT, so we're in the design area of ChatGPT right here. So we just set up a GPT to create a schedule. And so let me just click on this one thing to test it, and it comes up with this list here. It starts us out. If I go save chat to file here, it can't do it now. And the reason is because we have to enable something if we're creating a custom GPT. So if we go to configure down here, you'll see there's these different things, like it can generate an image, and by default this is on. We can generate web browsing, that's on by default, or not generate web browsing. We can web browse on here. So the web browsing allows it to be able to browse the web. But down here, code interpreter and data analysis is off by default, and most people wouldn't think to turn this on if they're creating a GPT. But if we click on this, it will actually allow us to save it to a file. So now if I go save our chat to a file, it actually creates the code and it gives us the file here. And it's by default, it saves it to a text file, and you can specify once again what file type. And so now we have our file here, and if we open it up, it says save our chat to a file, and this is our chat. So if you're creating a ChatGPT, you have to remember to turn the ability on. If you're just doing a regular GPT or just a regular chat, and you're not doing it under a custom GPT, you can just specify and tell it to do the file. The other thing to be aware of is if you use somebody else's GPT and they did not enable this, you won't be able to save the file, but you can still copy the text from a screen and save it to a file manually yourself.